As the tide of the Cybertronian War begins to turn against the Autobots, leader Optimus Prime dispatches Agent B-127 to Earth out of hopes of using the planet as a safe haven and staging ground for a possible Autobot revolt against the Decepticons. Unfortunately, not too long after arriving on Earth, Agent B runs afoul of Sector 7 agent Jack Burns and his elite commando squad. Not only that, but it turns out a Decepticon followed him to the planet Earth. The ensuing battle leaves Agent B's voice communication systems damaged and his memory almost entirely erased, though he does manage to scan a nearby Volkswagen Beetle before collapsing into a lake. Sometime later, a young woman named Charlie Watson finds Agent B in a junkyard and takes the VW Beetle home. It's then that she discovers her new car's true secret. Dubbing the bot BumbleBee, the two begin forming a friendship while also trying to thwart a possible Decepticon invasion as two agents have honed in on Bee's signal. The two not only have to deal with the possible Decepticons, but also Agent Burns in Sector 7, who now find themselves working with the Decepticons. Can they save things? Will Cybertron ever be safe for anyone? This is BumbleBee. Okay, so first things first. Sorry if that little summary bit is really choppy. I just found it to be too much of a mouthful, so I had to cut it up and paste it together. Hopefully this makes a bit more sense. So yeah, BumbleBee it's a little weird because it's kind of a prequel to the more prominently known Bayformers franchise, or Michael Bay Transformers franchise, but in a way it's also sort of a reboot of it. You may have noticed in the trailers for this, or if you have seen the film, that the Transformers tend to look more like their original animated G1 counterparts than they do, the Michael Bay Transformers. Also, this does try to play in as a prequel to this, leading into things like, obviously, Sector 7 comes up, and at the end, Bumblebee does become a Camaro. Little spoiler there. Other things kind of don't. Like, I guess they just decided to ignore, like, the last, I'd say, 3 Transformers movies. They don't mention Sentinel Prime at all. No Dinobots or anything like that, or Quintessons. Unicron is not the planet Earth. Bumblebee was not in World War II. And, well, that could be considered a good thing because those were the major faults of a lot of those bits of those movies. But in a way, like I said, it's just kind of weird that it's like Bumblebee has now arrived on Earth. And later it's revealed that Optimus Prime has also arrived on Earth. So yeah, that's the other little bit that's kind of weird. But really, the central bit of this is the relationship between Bumblebee and Charlie. Charlie dubs Agent B Bumblebee along the way. I don't think I said that in my summary or not. Anyway, like I said, it's really the relationship between the two that this thing is built on, and it's pretty well done. It is a warmth to this that I will admit none of the other Transformers movies really have. That does help push this way up. Believe it or not, I keep wanting to call her Abigail Breslin. It's not Abigail Breslin. It's Haley Steinfeld, and well, the computer effect that is Bumblebee do seem to actually have some chemistry. Basically, Charlie's background is her father was she's a gearhead, her father was a gearhead. She also used to be a champion diver in junior high and high school, but then her father died and she's been kind of down in the dumps ever since, even though her mother has remarried, and this stepfather, well, he's not necessarily cruel or mean-spirited in any way. He is very sort of a power of positivity type of guy. And so both her mother and her stepfather are constantly just telling her to smile more often. She'd be a lot happier if she just smiled. Maybe then she'd feel better. And yeah, that does wear out pretty fast. There's also this kind of pseudo love interest named Memo. Yeah, I don't get the name either. Well, he clearly has a crush on her, and he's trying to ask her out. but she doesn't really know him at all until he discovers Bumblebee as well. And they don't really become a couple. The good news is they don't actually become a couple in the movie, but it's obvious that she knows that he's into her, but she does not fully reciprocate. In fact, at the end of the movie, there's a scene where he reaches to hold her hand, and she's like, I'm not quite there yet. So he's like, okay. And, this Bumblebee lands in 1986. Like I said, he runs afoul of John Cena's Agent Burns of Sector 7. Like I said, they work Sector 7 into this. They also try to say like Sector 7 invented the internet, which doesn't make any sense. The internet already existed in 1986. I mean, it wasn't the internet that we know today, but it was around. So that, yeah, exactly. Not only that, but again, it's like, do they forget that we used Megatron as the basis for all technology, and he crashed here in, like, what was it, 1912, I believe, in the original film, so they ignore that plot thread. So, yeah, again, this is where that whole, is this remake, prequel, reboot, it starts to kind of get futzy. I guess, but again, really the strong central point of this is the relationship between Charlie and Bumblebee. That part works really well, and to an extent the relationship between Charlie and her family works pretty well, but there are parts of it that come a little clunky. Like I said, there's this kind of go-nowhere plot where these bitchy, mean girl bullies are there. There's this boy that she also might have a crush on. I don't remember his name at all because he's only in 2 scenes. But yeah, again, they go absolutely nowhere. Except while they're trying to get revenge on the mean girls, Bumblebee winds up in a high-speed car chase, which sort of alerts him to the 2 Decepticon agents that arrive. And no, unfortunately, I did not get the names of those Decepticon agents, so I had another kind of fault for the movie. That being said, like I did enjoy it for the most part. Most of the action scenes are really good and really well done. Like I said, believe it or not, the chemistry between Haley Steinfeld and a computer-generated effect is pretty good. She does have a pretty good arc to it. My only qualm with the arc is I think part of it gets told out of order. Like, I think you've seen in the trailers that Bumblebee winds up wreaking some havoc inside of Charlie's house. And her mother comes home and Charlie's saying, there's this thing that happened to my car. It's like, oh, you only care about your car. And then Charlie flips out about, oh, like how you care about Dad. You know, you've remarried. You've moved on. Why can't I, just be allowed to remember? And it's like, it felt like that blow-up should have come a little bit earlier in the film. And it doesn't really get resolved either. I mean, that's a little bit of the problems with this. But overall, I did kind of enjoy it, so I am going to give Bumblebee a B-. Like, I don't want to drop it all the way down to a C, because I think it was better than, pretty much the last 3 Transformers movies, but I can't really go too much higher than that. So B- is what I'm going to go with.
Saturday, zoom into the wacky world of What's Up, Doc, with that crafty rabbit and his crazy friends on the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show. Catch it Saturday on CBS.
Okay, trailer time, and we actually have a new trailer this time by. We had Missing Link. This is the new Leica Studios film about I guess, primatologist who receives a letter from the actual missing link, who seeks to return back to his own kind. And they go out on a series of wacky adventures after that. Looked kind of interesting, but I know it's coming out the same weekend as something else. I just can't remember what it is now. And after that, we have 3 trailers that I swear I'm never going to escape these movies because I keep getting the dang trailers. We had A Dog's Way Home, again. How to Train Your Dragon, Hidden World, again. And The Kid Who Would Be King, again. Now, admittedly, a couple of those films I'm not entirely down. I'm not down on How to Train Your Dragon. I'm not down on Kid Who Would Be King. I mean, those do look kind of entertaining, but I'm just tired of seeing the trailers all the dang time. After that, we had Godzilla King of the Monsters again. What Men Want Again, and then we ended with Wonder Park. Okay, so like I said, this is the last movie review for 2018. The next movie review will be in 2019. I will do kind of a best worst list. It's going to be one big video. I'll try to get that up into the beginning of the new year. Obviously, I'm working on the random trade review for the House of Mystery series, and admittedly, my attention's getting a little bit divided because I recently got an Xbox One. So I have that going along too. So this episode is this review, I guess, is going to be coming up on Christmas, or will be released on Christmas. So I hope you've been having a good Christmas, or if you're watching this after that, I hope you've had a good Christmas. See you all in the new year. Hey guys, is there a movie you want me to tackle? Even if it's some stinker like Baywatch or the Emoji Movie or something else? Check out my Patreon at Sleepy Time for Cat Productions. See how you can make that happen.